Joining us tonight, Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch. He has a new book, A Republic Under Assault, the Left's Ongoing Attack on American Freedom, available for your pre-order now, and we recommend it to you highly. Tom,
thank you.
I've styled this as a constitutional crisis in the making. It is fundamentally a right that has been trampled, an American right, and that is the right to know what their government is doing. This is a moment where this president will be judged, do you not believe, in whether or not he forces this government to honor that right of the American citizen. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is what he was hired to do, to drain the swamp, and the best disinfectant is sunlight here. And if the agencies are not going to be cooperative, they will do the minimal necessary they think that will keep the president off their backs. He can't trust the agencies to do it. If I were him, I would send in transparency strike teams out of the White House or folks close to him that he trusts who can go in and take the documents away and release them to the American people. We can't allow their discretionary release from the deep staters to obstruct continuously the right of the American people to know what its government's been up to, especially on the worst corruption scandal in American history. They're sitting on thousands of page-struck communications. They're sitting on page emails. They're sitting on Fauci emails. They're sitting on Burisma emails. And the idea that these agencies, after years of obstruction, are all of a sudden going to start releasing them quickly, I mean, that's hope over experience. And we can't let that be the guide. The president, as we've seen over the last week, the only way to get the action is for him to be personally interceding and get people into the agencies and go in and have an independent look-see at what's going on.
The permanent bureaucracy, as you well know, the deep state, that so often takes your FOIA requests, your Freedom of Information requests, and suddenly they become, well, dusty, and they try to make them also forgotten. You don't let them do it. But they also don't honor them, many of them. This is a very difficult moment, and I think the president really needs to stand up before the American people and invite Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris to stand up and demand that the American people, their right to know, be honored here, and join him in demanding that the deep state and those heads of agencies and those senior bureaucrats that have been so toxic in their political corruption permit the American people to actually know what's really happening and what did happen as they plotted, conspired, and acted to overthrow the presidency of Donald Trump for 4 years. What do you think?
Well, Biden is going to make confessions to potentially criminal activity by supporting the release of information that could generate prosecutions of him and his colleagues from the Obama administration. Attorney General Barr has protected him from being questioned, protected Obama from being questioned, protected Hillary Clinton from being questioned. I would hope that Democrats and Republicans would be behind a transparency initiative. But instead, what are we seeing? The deep state leaking to the New York Times as we speak, classified information to try to derail the president's efforts to lawfully release information. You've got active sedition right now against the president's transparency initiatives, and it's clearly political, and it's clearly tied to the election. So Biden's sitting back and happy to see it happen.